What's up guys, welcome back to another drawing tutorial. Mastered Ultra Ego Vegeta. This is a fan art. I think it says art by Axeli, so hats off. Saw someone requested this specifically. So let's draw it. Landscape page, pencil eraser, hit pause if I go too fast. So head real small, right? So we'll zoom in up here. And we start with his eyes, the large eye. No eyebrows, so we'll go at like a check mark or a tick line. So we'll just go back that way. And then goes around the back into there. And then some hatching lines on top. Right, so Dragonball eye, so we do small line, and like there are different styles, so like a long line here, and then we will curve them together. And then his iris, like a half circle just there, and then his pupil underneath. So we're probably making him a bit like angrier looking even. So his other eye, so we've got this sort of check mark going like more vertical up the other way, right? So it'll be check mark going up here into there, like that, right? So this is like his brow on the other side. And then the eye shape, it's much smaller. So we go with a little small line there, a long line here, and then we will curve it together. And then he's like looking up from underneath again. So like hyper aggressive. And then his nose, so a very spiky nose. You could have like some frowns and sort of wrinkle lines and stuff inside here. But mostly it's just angry eyes. So we go this way, back in, down. And then Dragonball, they usually do this kind of shadow section underneath the nose, you know, this kind of thing. And then we have the cheek marks underneath the eyes. And his mouth, so right underneath the nose. Very sort of downturned Dragonball mouth. Hatching underneath the lip. So you see now the mouth kind of goes up on that side and down on that side. That's because this side of his face is turned away. It's kind of why that eyebrow goes up and isn't like flat across. Because there's perspective when the head turns the other way. And then his chin. Down and up that way. Right, so we got jaw on this side and cheek on this side, right? So it's different both sides. So we will go And you see now the way they stack up, they're kind of diagonal that way. So the jaw there, and then it changes direction and goes up towards his ear. So pretty strong jaw now. Now the other one's different, so it curves in first. So this one goes kind of flat. This goes in and out around the nose. So in and out. And then around the nose, so this is like his cheekbone. And then it goes up to the brow. So in and out again. Like that. And then it looks like he's got like some cheek lines or stuff like that here. So his ear then, so just right beside his eyebrow, we got his sideburn, right? So just this little sort of spike. And then the ear comes out from there and goes down towards the jaw. So it just goes out, down. And he has an earring on. So we go, where does it line up? Kind of in line with his eye, actually. It's not the biggest ear lobe, but we'll put it sort of there. And then ear lines inside. And he has a golden earring on. Just a little sort of rectangle in there. So his hairline then, so we'll just go up, in, and then it spikes right down towards the nose from here. So it goes like, boom, that way. And then it spikes up. And he could have like some little details in here, like veins and stuff on his head. Okay, so hair, purple spiky hair. So it comes out from the back of his neck or his ear here. You got a real muscly sort of neckline that way. And it all comes back to a point back here. So we'll just start with the small sort of hair spikes, right? Okay, and it all goes back to like up this area somewhere. And they gradually maybe get like a little bit bigger as we go up. Back down to the back side of his head then. Okay, so that's like your shape. And then there's like some texture lines inside and some extra sort of spikes, right? So it goes now, of course, this is just the way this guy did it. Like Vegeta's hair is different, so you don't have to do it exactly the way I'm doing it. It's different every time I've seen it drawn, every manga panel. You know, there is a different shape to it sometimes. Okay, but that's generally it. And then you can add some texture, like a texture line on each sort of hair spike. You don't have to add too much if you don't want to. Some artists add more, some add less. Just to make it look a bit hairy. Right. Now, we got a hand over here holding like a orb of destruction or something, right? Probably do that last. So we got to deal with anatomy. So your neck muscles always go to the center of your collarbone. That's where they connect to your pectorals. So from the jaw here, you go diagonal. That way, because his body's kind of turned away now in 3/4 pose. The other neckline there, and then there's an Adam's apple there. Now these two always go to the center of the chest, so that means the center of the chest is here. Okay, so that's like the middle of his pectoral muscles. So we have one big one going out here. Underneath, it's kind of like a square sort of muscle shape. Okay, and like his nipple in there. And then the other side is smaller. It's about half the size of this one because his chest is turned away from us. Right, so it kind of goes this way. You have like, you know, striations of his muscles and muscles and stuff, as much as you want to do, of course. So that's like his pecs, right? And you'll see this is half the size of this one because 3/4 pose. 1/4 of his body is turned back, so we can't see it. Now, trapezius, your neck muscle, which joins the head to the shoulder and the back, right? It's kind of there. And then it's sort of slightly different on this side because it's turned away again, goes more down. So then we can see the front of his body here. Before I do arms and shoulders, we'll just get sort of his body shape, right? So it's like very bumpy because it's like abs and hips and all that kind of thing. And then the abs come down the middle like that. So a 6-pack, so you do like 3 curves. And then the tops of them sort of go that way. And then we can see the sides. And another layer. And then maybe like some obliques and stuff like that. And his back is huge, right? It's like out as far as his pec. Like that. So he's lats, you know. He's got that kind of superhero pose. Chest forward. And we might as well finish his pants. So it's like it's zigzag, sort of jaggedy, because it's all ripped and torn. His leotard thing that he wears. Right, and then his like hips come down, his thigh muscles, his thigh, crazy big thigh muscles, so like that way. And then his groin area there, going that way, and like lots of leg muscles and hip, like that. Okay. Now, big shoulder muscles and arm coming down there, and then the hand that's like doing this, like goblet sort of thing. So like a ridiculously big shoulder muscle here now. Right. I probably actually made it a bit smaller, but he's like little, your chest like joins your shoulder usually, right? So like there. and then you have like striations. And then the bicep will sort of go this way. And then the tricep down that way. And there's usually a line that separates the tricep and the bicep. We'll do like a bicep vein here. And elbow. And then, so there's like a big forearm sort of situation here. And then his glove. And then like his glove has folding lines on it. And then we go down to just basically like a fist. Knuckles like that. And then we'll go like around for his index, and it's kind of like curving. And the thumb. And so each of these would be a finger then. And maybe some knuckle lines and stuff just going that way. Right, so the other hand, doing that kind of a thing, kind of looks unusual. Well, we'll see what we can do. Don't want to criticize someone's hand drawing, but we'll go for it. So let's see. So it's like a big sort of shoulder muscle again. Hands are hard, you know. Right, and then like his glove is like right here, so we'll go so it's like his glove. So then this comes down to like his elbow here and his forearm. And then his like tricep and bicep are like in here. Then we have a hand. So this hand now, let me see if I can work this one out. Take your time with hands, they are tricky. And this hand is in an odd position. So it goes up this way, and we got like knuckles right on each one. So your fingers always have 3 segments. A knuckle here, here, and here, and 3 segments in between. So 1, 2, 3, right? So 1, 2, and a third, right? Oh, this is messing me up. Is that finger wrong? Something wrong about that hand. Yeah, well, we'll go for it. Let's see. I think it should be maybe higher up or something. Or are we looking at it from behind? Let's do... I'm trying to fix this maybe a bit. That just goes to a knuckle. Guess that should go that way. 1, 2, and a third. Right, and then the next one, go in the opposite direction. And then his pinky. Here somewhere. Yeah, maybe slightly better. So we'll just do some like knuckle lines and stuff here. So hands are hard, and we can just see like his thumb just around the other side of the hand there. Maybe it should be more on that side. Coming out from. Well, that's the way it is. That's the way it's drawn in the picture. Some off, but anyway, we will go for the orb of destruction. So we'll just do a circle. If you have a compass or like a plate or a cup or something to draw circles around, feel free to use it. And then he does this cool sort of effect here. There's all sorts of lightning and energy and stuff coming around it. And some aura and all sorts of stuff around Vegeta as well, like lots of energy and purple stuff. Okay, hope it's helpful. Thanks for watching. See you next one. Bye.